everyone. Thanks so much for joining. Today, we have the great pleasure of speaking with Paula Muto, CEO and founder of UberDocs. Tell you a little bit more about her in a moment. And first, we just want to talk a little bit about Validation Institute to make sure you have the appropriate context for this conversation. Validation Institute empowers healthcare buyers and advisors with critical information and data to help drive down the cost of healthcare and just create better outcomes. We provide transparency to support more informed decision-making for buyers and validate the marketing and performance claims of solution providers like UberDocs to provide and support accountability in the marketplace. So today, Paula's going to talk to us a little bit about UberDocs, the value of validation for her organization, and just some of what the great work that UberDocs is doing in the marketplace so that you have some general awareness of who they are and what they do. So with that said, Paula, thanks so much for joining. If you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and about UberDocs and why you started it. As the CEO and founder, the audience, I'm sure, would love to know a little bit more about that.
Sure, thank you. And I want to thank the Validation Institute for interviewing me today and being part of their program. So I'm a surgeon, actually. I'm a practicing surgeon in Massachusetts. I'm from a whole entire family of surgeons. My dad, my brother, I'm married to a surgeon, two uncles. We understand healthcare and we didn't like where it was going. So 5 years ago, I thought maybe I could find a way to try to fix it, to improve access for patients and decrease the cost. I think that's the challenge for everyone. It is inconvenient for patients, it's inconvenient for doctors, and doctors are dropping out of the medical marketplace at a very high clip with a high burnout rate. So we created UberDoc 5 years ago as a platform for patients to connect directly to specialists for a transparent, affordable price through a health savings account and through a very convenient model. And in that way, we've basically tried to solve the issue of access and price transparency.
Excellent. And in that business, and you're doing a great job of prioritizing this access for patients, which is a huge win. What, though, about the system and about the approach do you find to be the biggest challenge?
So people always think healthcare is really complicated, and over the years it has gotten very complicated. There's so many layers of insurance and risk and cost. But the bottom line is, when you get into a doctor's office, it's not that complicated. Especially as specialists, we train for a lot of years. And that's everyone from your internal medicine doctor to your neurosurgeon. Everybody spends a lot of time seeing a lot of patients. And so it's not that complicated for us because we see it all the time. What becomes difficult is navigating the patient into their treatment to make sure that they can pay for it. So when you take the price off the table, in other words, you say, let's just look under the hood and see what is the actual price of care, and can we do it in a reasonable way? Can the doctor see the patient? Can the patient get the care? And you realize that when that equation is transparent, it makes it very easy. So I think that in our model, what we are trying to address is that we're trying to simplify healthcare. Technology, of course, is helping us a whole lot. Digital healthcare, technology in how we deliver healthcare with telemedicine, technology, how we treat patients with disease, how we move patients from operating rooms into offices, from cancer centers to home. The delivery of care has shifted quite substantially and has made it easier to simplify. So I think that's part of the issue with healthcare, and what our solution is that we're really looking to the future to kind of make it easier.
I love that. And I think basically your transparency almost allows for the simplicity, and it's a nice dovetail into what we do in terms of validating programs so that there's transparency in what they're doing and the results that they're achieving. So to that point, could you talk a little bit about why you pursued validation?
So, we're addressing a model. We have a two-sided marketplace. We have doctors on one side. So we recruit doctors, and doctors come very happily onto our platform. Doctors, we have close to 4,000 of them, and they keep coming because the doctors are really looking for a simpler solution. They just want to connect with their patients. So on the patient side, where are the patients? Many patients this is a direct to consumer model. However, a lot of patients have employer-based health plans. And these employer-based plans and employee benefit brokers are always looking for ways that are creative and different to be able to try to bring the costs down. We sit in the sweet spot because we are transparent, because we're in the health savings account, because we don't generate a claim, we don't generate paperwork. We became very attractive to employers. So when we started talking to a lot of employers, employee benefit brokers, it seemed very important that we needed to look at our model and say, what is the particular value that we can provide? What in the nuts and bolts terms of value? I mean, we know this kind of intuitively, of course we're going to be cheaper, but can we prove it? And that's why we engaged the Validation Institute to study us, to say, hey, is it just in our minds, or this is in fact a very valid model? And of course, that was the reason we pursued validation, and we've been working with you guys, which has been wonderful.
Yeah, no, I know, and you do great work, and we were happy to work with you. And I know that we have an evolving partnership that will help continue to validate some of the outcomes that you see. But what does validation in general help to do to differentiate you in the marketplace?
That's a great question, because there are a lot of direct-to-consumer healthcare models out there. In fact, just today, I believe Amazon said they were going to get into the healthcare marketplace. So it's a lot different when you kind of like ordering, something that, a pair of pantyhose on Amazon versus you're talking to a vascular surgeon. Like, are they the same thing? Not really sure. So it's really important that UberDoc stand out for what we are. We are qualified, board certified specialists, doctors that are in a trade that is devoted to our patients. We're in a service profession. We want to differentiate ourselves from the market forces out there that might be trying to sell you a prescription or perhaps a service. So we really want to make sure that people understand that we're the real deal, that when you come onto our platform, that we have that credibility. Also, the employers need to trust us that we aren't going to ring up the bill, that it isn't going to be some kind of platform where there's a lot of technology and there isn't a lot of care for the patient. And that's why it's important for us to have a third party look at us and say, hey, wait a minute, this model is truly validated. They are doing what they say they're doing, and that this is a good partner to have and a good option for your employees.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And with that, I'm going to conclude by just encouraging anyone who's watching this to review the UberDocs validated report. You can go to www.validationinstitute.com and click on the validated programs page. There's a lot of great stuff in that report. And Paula, thank you so much for making time today. We appreciate it. I'm Sue Morrell, General Manager at Validation Institute. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions about not only UberDocs or just in general getting validated. Thank you so much and have a great day.